Welcome to Get Healthy, Sexy, and Happy. I'm Sara Plummer, and this is Dr. Stephanie Daniel. Thank you for being with us today. She has two fabulous clinics that are making quite the headway. One is
Intuitive Women's Wellness.
Intuitive Women's Wellness out in Berkeley, and the other is the Longevity Center in San Francisco. And today we're going to cover a really quick, simple, everyday issue, and that is the morning latte. So let's talk about caffeine.
So caffeine in my morning latte is actually one of my favorite parts of the day. So I try to recommend everything in moderation. And caffeine is a great tool to feel alert, to give us a boost in mood and energy. And as long as we're getting it from a source that is good quality and not overdoing it, it can actually be a great little ritual to keep part of your day-to-day.
What do I put in my coffee? I am currently a soy milk girl. What do you think about soy milk?
Definitely down on the soy milk. So
no soy milk. What's wrong with soy milk?
So most of the soy in the U.S. is actually very highly processed, and a lot of it is GMO, it's genetically modified. So when I talk to my patients about soy milk options, or soy options in general, we talk about having fermented soy as part of your diet and keeping all the non-fermented soy out. So fermented soy comes in the form of tempeh and miso, but in forms of tofu or soy milk especially, it's probably one of the worst things you can do for health.
So no soy milk.
No soy milk. Soy allergies are like probably one of the top food sensitivities that we have in our culture. So stay away from the soy.
No soy, not the way we have it in the U.S. And then what about low-fat milk?
So anytime you take fat out of a food that usually has fat in it, you're actually replacing it with extra sugar. And sugar is what keeps us storing fat and holding on to fat much more than actually eating fat. So I always recommend whole milk and any animal products, dairy, eggs, meat, the like, needs to be organic, because all of the hormones and antibiotics they use in traditional conventional farming get stored in the fat tissue, and you really don't want to give yourself that exposure level in things having a latte.
So full fat milk with less sugar makes you feel fuller and always organic.
Right.
Now, is almond milk the best then, or somewhere in the middle?
It's debatable what's the best. Almond milk is a great option, especially if you're trying to stay away from dairy. Dairy by itself can be really inflammatory. Some people have a lot of sensitivities to it. If that's not you, great to have the organic full fat and also in moderation. But if you do have any kind of dairy sensitivity, it's a great substitute. It's creamy. It doesn't have the issues with soy or dairy allergies. It's got some fat and some protein to it, which is really great for staying full longer. It doesn't spike your blood sugar, and it's a wonderful alternative. And I don't know if they're incorporating more almond milk choices in most of the cafes yet, but hopefully it's on the horizon, along with not this one, along with hazelnut milk, rice milk, less so, but given that allergy, of course, rice milks. Coconut milk has been something that people are using more and more as a dairy substitute.
It could be coconut milk?
It might be really creamy and
rich. This can be full fat milk, it can be almond milk, and it can be coconut milk, but stay away from my soys.
Yep. And stay away from skim. Stay away from milk. And no non-organic. Everything should be organic when it comes to animal proteins.
And I should get my caffeine probably from green tea and not coffee because of the mold you were saying?
Yeah, no, actually, so, coffee itself is a really potent antioxidant. It's got a lot of antioxidant value to it. The primary issue in our coffee supply is that it has a very high pesticide burden. And so really looking for that organic fair trade coffee to avoid how toxic it can be because of the way that the crop is cultivated, and for the most part is really important part of that. And if you can source out neighborhood spots that use an organic coffee. Some of the coffee trends that are happening in San Francisco especially are really more focused on these artisanal type blends, and are paying more attention to the quality of the coffee and how it was brought about. So again, it's the organic piece because of the toxicity level of conventionally grown coffee. And then
Wow.
Yeah. So and then in terms of other caffeine sources, green tea, awesome source, really great. Even more.
We are outside at a cafe. Other sounds happen, but green tea.
Green tea, even more of a potent antioxidant than coffee itself. It also has anti-aging effect. There's a chemical in there that you can take really concentrations. I think the acronym is ECGC, and it is a anti-carcinogenic, antioxidant.
ECGC. And isn't there L-theanine that calms you as well?
Mm-hmm. Yep, L-theanine is an amino acid, and that's part of the green tea compound or formula. And then the caffeine source, of course, being a much lower level than coffee. Let's talk about caffeine levels of different drinks. So I can give you a quick rundown.
Sure. I mean,
The most potent, is your drip coffee. Starbucks, your Peach, your full, black drip coffee. A standard serving of that has a good 200 milligrams of caffeine. That's pretty hefty punch. When you start getting to your lattes, you're doing 1 to 2 shots, and you're bringing that caffeine down to somewhere between 70 and 140 milligrams, and then your green teas are going to have 35 to 70 milligrams, depending on how much, way less, depending on how much you're drinking.
okay.
So just keep that in mind too, especially if you're caffeine sensitive. And caffeine sensitivity is actually genetically determined. So
I didn't know that either. Well, she's being good. She has her green tea.
I do.
I had my latte, a little bit of sugar, and unfortunately had soy milk, which I just learned why that's no longer going to be the case. But thank you so much, Dr. Stephanie, for taking some time out to help us with something that most of us do every single day, and that is our morning latte. So thank you for visiting Get Healthy, Sexy, Happy. You can check out more of Dr. Stephanie at intuitivewomenswellness.com.